Hello everyone, Manthroll here, and welcome back to another RuneScape Update Week / Patch Notes. This week is actually kind of a big one. It's going to bring a lot to firemaking as a whole, and actually a lot for woodcutting too. As if there isn't enough already for woodcutting. But this week brings a firemaking week / PVM revitalization week. So this is actually something that can revitalize both of these things. And I got a feeling we're going to have a lot more PVM stuff coming in the future, but keep in mind this is just a start. So, the biggest thing, and probably the most impactful thing, if you ask me, is now there's what is called incense burners, which actually affects fletching as well. So, okay, this is what it is. It says incense burners must be filled with incense sticks. When these sticks are lit, they release a variety of beneficial effects for 10 minutes. This effect can be extended up to 60 minutes by lighting more. And it says each type of incense has a different buff which increases by potency every 10 minutes from level 1 to 4. And if you overload the incense burner, which consumes 6 sticks, you will instantly get the level 4, the max potency. Now, it does say this limit is expanded to 2 types at level 71 and 3 types at level 95. But you can start relatively low. But here is the effects that are actually in place. Now, of course, different logs are actually better as well. Because certain things, you could fletch them, but it just, certain things, it's a lot like a potion. So, of course, your elder logs are going to be with your fell stock. Yeah, it's one of those kind of things. It takes a lot to get going. But, first off, you got your herbs. Your herbs are actually combined in with this. And first up is Guam, which gives you a 10% chance of potency to gain additional logs from normal trees. Not that great, but if you're low level, it's fantastic. Terramin, 25% chance to potency to generate ashes in your bank when lighting a new fire. Marantil, 12.5 poison damage reduction per potency, so that can actually jump up quite a bit. Harlander is a 25% increase to run energy restore rate per potency. Now keep in mind, it says 25%, so that means if you get a potency level 4, you're going to be going from 25% all the way up to 100% with this. So, Renar is a +1 prayer bonus per potency. That actually can be very beneficial. Toadflax is a 12.5% chance per potency to avoid falling from an agility obstacle. Spiritweed, +10% summoning spell points recovery, natural and by potions, etc. per potency. That's actually nice. Irit, 25% poison damage reduction per potency, and it says is multiplicative rather than an additive with the Marantil. So they stack, but 50% from Marantil and 50% from Irit will not give you 100% poison reduction. It's just you have 50% 50% here, 50% there, so it just reduces it down very greatly. Regali is 0.5% chance per potency to produce a strung bow when fletching logs into unstrung bows. That is fantastic. It's something that's actually going to give Regali a big thing actually for it. Avanto, 5% potency to automatically bait hunter traps. Quarb, 2.5% weapon poison damage per potency. It's actually pretty damn good. Bloodweed, 2.5% chance per potency to get double logs when cutting bloodwood trees. Snapdragon, plus 50% stat restore rate per potency. Catatine, 2.5% per potency to not exhaust a resource, trees. I don't know if it's all resources, but it is specifying trees, because I think trees are the only one that actually depletes now. Lantidime, plus 30 seconds on potion timers per potency. That's pretty big. That's up to 2 minutes. Dwarfweed, 2% per potency to bang dropped or gathered items. Torstal, plus 5% base XP gain per potency. That's big. Fellstock, plus 1% spawn chance for elite NPCs per potency. That's all pretty awesome, but we're not done yet with Firemaking. Fire Spirit improvements. An audio cube will now play when Fire Spirit spawns. Fire Spirits will now display a timer counting down to when they will despawn. By catching a Fire Spirit, they will be placed in your inventory. When caught, the next few logs cut will give extra Firemaking XP. Divine Fire Spirits will provide both Firemaking and Divination XP. Fire Spirits will now specify which log they are from. Higher tier logs give better rewards. Clue scrolls have been added to the loot table. Now for the PVM aspect of this, there's a new Slayer resource dungeon, which they said about the Slayer Tower. So there's also a new resource dungeon which requires 100 engineering and is right with the Slayer Tower. But within this, there's 4 chambers and it has abyssal demons and dark beasts. So you will be able to go in there now and be able to have a little extra room with these. But it also says to keep things fair, you'll only be able to use cannons on the dark beast. So there's certain sections of this area that are kind of limited, but it's not that bad. Next, Angel of Death has a lot of fixes this week. Kill timers will now be wiped on login. Kill timers will now only be tracked with 7 people or fewer. When each of the mage minions die, they will now shout a message will appear in chat to show the order they died in. Next is now attackable while she is phasing, which allows players to build adrenaline, keeps combat going, but your damage is greatly reduced by 99%. The health of the Icicle Slam has been reduced to 20k, down from 100k. Icicle Bleed is now applied after 6 seconds of being under the icicle, which I believe it's Mod Ramen had said that this means that you don't want to ignore people who get stuck in this. You want to go and you want to help them. You want to get them out. Players will be placed in the room instead of on the edge when entering the instance. If the fight has already started, players will still be placed on the ledge to spectate. A leave option has been added to the flowing energy. Next can spawn multiple shadow orbs in the same location, which means they can stack with you and will do more damage per tick the longer you wait there. The ice closing around the edges of the arena in Phase 1 has been removed. It was causing major frame drops when spawning in. The fog has also been reduced. The banners that the mages use will now also be unlocked when unlocking the outfit. A login check has been added to give players the banner if they already have the outfit. A quick exit option has been added to the pillar at the end of the fight. Movement abilities will be taken off cooldown when the icicle is killed or removed, allowing players to get back into the fight. All players can now roll on a unique instead of 1 unique per kill. Nex will no longer cleave with her melee hit. If Nex attacks with magic, she will hit the main tank after 3 cycles, allowing them time to react and switch prayer. Nex should no longer re-aggro after any of her attacks or phasing. If a player dies, Nex will no longer re-aggro onto another player unless it is the tank that died. Players are no longer punished for killing Nex with less than 7 players in regards to drop rate. Drop rate PP will be 142 by player count in the room. So that's pretty good. The off-tank drop roll has been removed and replaced with the DPS roll since it is now more even anyway. Other PVM fixes: legendary pets. Scavenge ability now chooses the most expensive item from the pile of loot instead of a random one, which is very nice. Dungeoneering's boss Stump is now insta-killed when placing the final set of crystals instead of waiting for the current phase to end. The Ricochet ranged ability now targets secondary opponents at range 6 up from 4. The 6H circuit now teleports to tormented demons. Ramora's Necklace teleport is now unlimited. Groups may now enter Liberation of Mazcab in practice mode for initial NPC Horde, Beastmaster Durzag, Yakamaru, or Yakamaru Mirage phase. Otherwise, we got patch notes, but we'll get into that. The BAFTA Game Rewards is a mobile, basically competition between the different mobile games, and it's a game reward, and they're letting people know, hey, please vote for Old School RuneScape to be nominated this year into this, as it pretty well deserves it. Alright, they announced the Winter Sweepstakes winner, which is Ranger Huki. Sorry if I botched that. Lootscape. It's still a big cluster of random items, so mostly from stuff that you can get from treasure hunter. Sorry. Live streams this week is Tuesday, March 26th at 1700 UTC, which is Big Questions Q&A. Sunday, March 31st at 1800 UTC is PVM with Mod Lee, and there's also a reminder of the Pink Skirts event. But now onto the patch notes. So now we have this. We have camera. There's a new camera mode which is called Freedom, which allows for even more extreme camera angles and zoom levels. So that means you can zoom in further and you can zoom out even further. Essentially, that's all it is. Combat resolved an issue where defensive abilities were not taken into account when calculating damage as the opponent died. Buffs from different items can no longer be activated in the same tick when using the draggable worn equipment slot on the action bar to switch them. The legendary pet, again, prioritizes. Increase effective range of the ricochet, which is from 4 to now 6. And this also affects the corrobing perk. The Dungeoneering boss Stomp, again, will now die automatically on the last phase when you place everything in. Divine and Fire Spirits, again, there's a sound that's being played. You'll get bonus XP for the 1 to 5 logs you're burning on a bonfire. The time bar has now been added to the Fire Spirit, allowing you to see when it will vanish. Firelighters, blue, green, red, purple will now have a strike option. When clicked after a 5-minute buff is added to the player, will automatically consume any fire spirits that spawn. This could stack up to 60 minutes. It says you now have a very rare chance of getting a clue scroll from claiming a fire spirit's reward. The fired up ring and gloves now have a chance to stop your crystal tinderbox from degrading when you get a fire spirit. Any fire spirits gathered will now become an item in your inventory, allowing you to save up an entire inventory and click on one to open them all at once. Should a firelighter buff be active when gathering a fire spirit, it will add 1.3 boost on the fire spirit drop table. The grouping system practice raid mode. If you're in a group and readied up, you can right click on the raid barrier and click choose a boss practice mode. From there, any of the options will take you to that part of the raid's boss fight. During this time, if the group kills the boss, they will get no loot, kill count, boss timers, etc. And it says you can't progress through the raid at all, and you have to leave after each kill. This next section is all about next. We already went through all that. Skilling reverted a change to the Galactor Cave Bane mine site to restore it back to the way it was before the update of March 11th. Hot air balloons now use a charge system to travel. Higher tier logs count for more charges, up to 4,000 charges, can be stored by giving logs to the balloon assistant. Balloon travel no longer has inventory weight limit. Teleports added the Guthix Temple deep beneath the Lumbridge Caverns, 2 teleport options on the 6th Age circuit. The max skill portal teleport to tormented demons now places the player closer to them while still respecting their boundaries of aggression. Removed the limit of one teleport from Remora's necklace and moved it to teleport location from the White Knight's camp to the ominous door that leads into the Queen Black Dragon fight. Other Treasure Hunter floating image has had some graphical changes, updated Revenant pets, unlocked description on pet interface. Players can now complete their Slayer task if they had previously reset their Wilderness task to an easier one. And finally, made some fixes to the Glacker Cave main mine site. So that'll be it for these updates this week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.